Okay, let's see. Welcome to the YouTube channel. And today I wanted to address a question that came in from me, I believe through one of Becca's mutual friends. Again, Becca has been with us even in her absence. So Becca, thank you for enlightening and bringing this topic to Bando Man's attention. I believe I'm saying it correctly. Bando Man did reach out to me through the direct messages here on Instagram. The first user on Instagram to do so Brandon. First, you asked me about the food matrix, okay? So before I go over the food matrix, Brandon, I wanted to share with you what resonated with me when I checked into who you are from what we have access to via this application, in this case Instagram, Brian. So look, okay, so I saw some patterns that may have kept you from information like this, first off, okay? And I also saw the open mind there, also with the ability to tap into whatever that creative mind wishes. Okay, Brian, so you do have a powerful potential to manifest in either realm, that is physical or spiritual, okay? And it looks like you are seeking the answer you asked in the direct message was, what is the food matrix? And that is a very spiritual question. And so that being said, Brandon, thank you. And Becca, again, for your contributions once again to the Holistic Network. This message will go a long way for people who are looking for a more calmer expression of what the food matrix is. As some of you may or may not know, I've been recruiting from the TikTok algorithm, so I've been explaining the food matrix in a aggressive way, if you will. So I'm sitting here at the Holistic Dog Park table right now with you, Brian, answering your question, okay? So let's see, because it is a very long-winded question, so I would invite you to step outside, Brian, and take a look at the industries that are surrounding us, okay? And every which of those buildings which distribute processed foods, all right? Grocery stores, fast food restaurants. Okay, Brian, and I'm apologizing for the wind right now. I'll do the best I can and see what happens with that. See what the audio quality turns out. So I will check the quality. I might have to add some captions, however. So I would start by first observing how many of these establishments there are, number one, okay? And as an American who has never left the United States, I invite you to travel to other countries and see what their source of nutrition is, starting with Bali. Okay, let me give you one example, Brian, please. Okay, if you step into a grocery store in Bali, it is the size maybe of 2 one-bedroom apartments, okay? And you can receive everything nutritionally, okay? Which indicates that the majority of the grocery stores in the United States are processed foods, okay? That is the middle of the aisles. That is anything that is not produce, that is not animal-based proteins, eggs, milk, etc. If you choose to indulge in that, that is your choice, okay? And if you still choose to indulge in foods of the processed, which I still do, okay? I still do, okay? That is also your choice. However, Brian, the goal of this series, the Food Matrix series, is to shift people's perspective into the fact that this is not a natural state of being, okay? This is going to be closer to our natural state of well-being. the holistic Eastern perspective, rather than the Glatarian perspective where Brian, okay, if you look at the size of your fist, Brian, you will see a not very, I mean, depending on the size, it's not super large, but look, that is the stomach. There is an area for food to go. However, we eat, and the kids as well, a large, over times this amount, okay? We exceed this fist size amount, over a period of 30, 40, 50 years, okay, Brian? So, that is a state of Glatarianism, which I believe the majority of the United States are part of. We can see this when 3 out of 4 people are receiving chronic illnesses. I've had family members who have passed away in their 50s, okay, aspiring millionaires, okay, who did take the Western route of pharmacy, who are in the end, as we all know, paid to keep you there as a patient and not to cure you. The more the doctor can have you back in the office, Brian, okay, the more money and profitable that office will become. And that industry, the Food Matrix Network, is very, very, very much part of the medical industrial complex as well. I put the medical industrial complex under the same grid as the Food Matrix, okay? They're operating almost in unison, okay? They will, for example, McDonald's will race for breast cancer or raise money for awareness for these diseases that they, in fact, do cause, okay? So it is a network, Brian, the Food Matrix, okay, is a network of these entities who will, firstly, keep you slave to their drugs as processed food, okay? That's what their goal is for you and I, alright? Not to exceed, not to rise above. They do not want you to walk around not consuming these foods. You will not be a good slave if you can avoid these foods, okay, Brian? So, look, I've avoided, let me give you some more perspective onto who I am as a person right now, Brian, because I understand right now you are on the fence and you are trying to see who am I to say any of this. So, look, Brian, first off, I'm only sharing an experience, and the major experience, life-changing, came from where I was 7 years ago, stuck into that food addiction, okay? Stuck deep in the food matrix, okay, Brian? That means I would eat to stop painful emotions, okay, such as we all go through, okay, as Zeus is currently expressing, okay. So I had to question my habits, okay. I worked in the food industry, okay. I noticed that these foods were greatly affecting my energy levels because I skateboarded every day, okay, Brian? So, that being said, I had to make a choice. Do I want to skateboard in a clear way, or shall I continue to have these processed foods that are entirely free to me, by the way, whenever I want, okay? Should I avoid these so I may continue to express my spirits, okay? My spiritual expression / physical expression in a natural way, okay? The processed foods of the restaurant industry were deterring this ability, okay? Hindering my energy levels to a very, very drastically negative point, okay, Brian? So I started there with myself because I could not go out and blame McDonald's, okay, Brian? I could not go out and blame Chili's and Starbucks. I couldn't stand out in front of these industries, okay? All of which I were addicted to heavily, Brian. I must not let that go, like, to the point where I would go 4 or 5 times a week, Brian. A week out to eat. I believe that is normal. If it is not, that was my experience, okay? So that is where I was in the food matrix. So I had to look at that person and say, how can we make you a happier person, okay? and I did that through the art of skateboarding, okay? And now, although I believe I am getting a skateboard today because I'm coming back into the physical realm. I've broken my fast, okay? I'm ready to break through into the physical once again and present the magical healing powers of a fruitarian lifestyle / skateboard. So I might get a skateboard today. For the excessive rambling, again, I am truly excited to share this lifestyle with each and every one of you over the next 3 years. And yes, that will include me going onto the TikTok live streams, and I promise to be more graceful with the TikTok live streams. If any of you are here stumbling upon me once again, here's me in a fed state, okay, a calm state, and look, my liquid yoga Tulsi tea is here once again. Okay, so Brian, that was my personal experience with dealing with what we call the food matrix, okay? That was my personal experience 7 years ago. And let me further explain to you, Brian, that I was, in fact, working in the same industry that I was trying to escape from, okay? So keep in mind, I would go into work with, so shifting from the lifestyle is going to include teas. Shifting from processed foods is going to include stuff like this, stuff like smoothies in glass jars, okay, juices. So I brought substances like these into work, okay, was openly mocked, okay, what are you drinking, all right, etc. So look, people will question the lifestyle because it is inherently attractive. Look, Brian, it is my belief, and it has been proven, that we are fruitarian, okay? Okay, we are heavily attracted to colors, and Brian, let me make a point to add to that. You don't have to agree, okay? We are definitely not glutarian, so let me add to that point I just made, that when I do present a fruit bowl to a live stream audience on TikTok, I retain thousands of viewers from beginning to end, and it is not me, okay, everyone? It is the fruit. Okay, so, Brian, so I will speak to individuals such as yourself, Brian, and what we can do to assess your role in this infrastructure that we now know as the food matrix. If I did answer your question, or I will expand further. Like I said, it is hard to know where to start this conversation. That is why it's ongoing for the next 3 years. So, based upon your numbers that I remember, there are some patterns that will keep you from accessing the power of this lifestyle. However, with your open mind, you can overcome those patterns, okay, Brian? You can overcome those patterns, and you do have a very open mind. I do remember that, so just continue to do that. Expand on your knowledge. I invite you to follow OnlyVan619 on all platforms, Brian, because that will continue to drive where the open mind will take you. So use that open mind that you have, okay? That Becca and I know you have. No offense to that. Look, use that open mind to drive you towards a positive direction, a healing direction. And one more thing about anyone's lifestyle regarding Becca and her friend Brandon here. Look, we all have our own indulgences, and as I have myself. But what I've noticed, Becca and her friend Brandon here, to you two specifically, since I did go through a phase, if you will, we all go on our own journey. However, I've noticed once I was able to accept that part of me, number one, but number two, channel the energy that was geared towards that lifestyle into the healing one, aka myself. Channel that energy that's going towards that lifestyle, redirect that into yourself, you two. And that is a missing piece to your own inner puzzle. And as someone who has shared in that experience in my own way as well, I can definitely offer you guys that as some more insight to your own personal journey, okay? And that is what the Holistic Warrior Network is here for, because we all have a piece to the puzzle. Okay, so again, Brandon and Rebecca continue to enlighten the conversation and be brave enough to step out as one of the first to address me on Instagram. So for that, Brandon, and again, if it is too windy, I will sit down at the holistic dining room table and address everything once again for you personally, Brandon. So again, if we could rise above your patterns with the open mind, and I could direct you towards some more information, not just the ones I provide, but I will need you to gather more resources than just mine, okay? And then I do believe you can make positive shift in the direction this page and the holistic based lifestyle, aka the body is the healer, okay? We are trying to awaken everyone to this message, okay? That being said, did I have any final thoughts on the food matrix? Let me see. Well, yes, I did have one more thing to add, or a couple. So, everyone, these videos, the series on the food matrix from this holistic perspective, from this digital avatar, okay? The series for the next 3 years would not be possible without me breaking 90% of my addiction to the food matrix, everyone, okay? Let me explain that. Again, I stress, I've afforded myself to do these live streams, minus social media censorship. That was new. However, I have, in fact, afforded myself, along with the grace of some divine intervention, that would not have been possible, everyone, without breaking my addiction to the standard American diet, aka fast food addiction, entertainment lifestyle, that the food matrix has us locked into, the fear frequency that it provides, okay? So I looked into myself, accessed my inner me, my love frequency, and had a 7-year-long battle, which I still go through to this day, okay? Alright, everyone. So, the decisions I made 7 years ago have brought me to this holistic dog park setting. And I will continue to let that decision, and along with being present in this realm, I will shed the autopilot mode of the matrix, and I invite you all to live in the now and access your energy today instead of stimulating it with tobacco, okay? Coffee that they so willingly provide to you, Starbucks, alright? The food has now become a stimulant, okay? So, that being said, once those are all provided, that is only a stimulatory effect, okay? So let's start to circulate the blood, and instead of stimulate, there's a different effect that herbs are going to have on the bloodstream, as opposed to effects caffeine will provide, okay? So, again, we need to start circulating instead of stimulating the blood. This is Tulsi tea, and forgive me, Brandon, we had a user join. It's Pretty in Pink, one of my commanders. I did make a video on this that I just posted, by the way. I went over all the effects, but since you asked, Pretty in Pink, I do drink a hot beverage every morning. This one is Tulsi tea, okay? Tulsi, as you may know, the holy herb of India. They call it liquid yoga, okay? So, and it has a little bit of honey and a few sprinkles of cayenne pepper. I've been slowly adding cayenne pepper more and more every day. As you know, it does reverse heart attacks, okay? So cayenne pepper. So Brandon, this is your introduction to the food matrix. I gave an intimate discussion between you and I, alright? Which will be rebroadcast onto the YouTube. Okay, so I appreciate you asking me that. First Instagram user to ask me, which has allowed me to sit here one-on-one, get the message across without the obstruction of the TikTok algorithm, which is what I will be doing for the next 5 days. So, Brandon and Rebecca, once again, thank you both for your contributions. Pretty in Pink, I invite you to the Instagram feed and the YouTube as well. TikTok lives and recruiting will resume. By the way, Pretty in Pink, if you have, I believe I'm developing a strategy to communicate with the NPCs, so bear with me. I know it's a little windy. So I'm working on a way to more effectively get this message out in a friendlier way. So, but we will not back down from delivering this message. So, that being said, I will continue to monitor my triggers, okay, as we move through this journey. And you have a blessed day wherever you are. I will continue the work from the underground bunker, okay? The dogs are ready to move to our next location, so I will, out of their respect, I will move along with the day, okay? So be sure to look for the coding I will be dropping on the TikTok feed until, I believe it's the, I'm not sure, the 18th is when I'm unrestricted. Either way, I will break through the digital realm at some point, okay? Also, I will be streaming on the YouTube live tonight. So, okay, everyone.